Joining us this morning is Hillary Clinton's 2008 presidential campaign chief strategist, the president of the Stagwell Group, and Harris poll chairman, Mark Penn. Mark, good to see you. Thanks so much for weighing in.
Morning.
What are you hearing from voters?
Well, I think right now the Democrats have the edge on the health care issue. I think if you ask whether Obamacare is failing, we got in this month's poll 53% say it's not failing. And in fact, voters want to keep a lot of the elements of Obamacare except for the mandate.
Yeah, but can you really say it's not failing when we know that there's absolutely no choice, that insurance companies are pulling out like wildfire, and in many counties across the country you only have one, if at all, insurance company?
Well,
no choice whatsoever, and of course we know that the premiums are up big.
I think the point of the poll is pretty much that the Republicans have lost the advantage that they had on this issue for many years, and their own disunity is hurting them. The Republican Party negatives have plunged to 67%. I don't think that's because of their positions. I think it's because of their lack of positions.
Dagan, what do you think?
Mark, in terms of getting their arms around the communications coming out of the White House, do you think Karl Rove, who's coming up later in the show, has a op-ed in the Wall Street Journal today saying that it's not that the president isn't communicating enough, it's the fact that he is communicating and it's his message that's driving down his popularity?
Look, I think actually it's very, very unusual to have the economy going in a positive direction, for people to think the economy is going in the right direction, and for people to be negative on the president and the administration, but they're also negative on the Democrats and the Republicans. But what change are we seeing? The president's down several points because I think he's mired now in the whole Sessions-Comey drama, and he seems to have played in himself. We also see the Republicans, I think, down from 63%, I think, negative to 67% negative, because they can't decide what they really stand for, and so nothing's moving, and the public is happy about the economy and unhappy about virtually everything else.
Good morning, Mark. One of the reasons that there seems to be so much mixed messaging coming out of the Republicans is because you see so much infighting in the White House, what Maria was alluding to earlier with Anthony Scaramucci's tweet last night. I think typically you see people in the White House coalescing around the president and trying to protect him no matter what. What would be your advice for this White House team, and how does Anthony Scaramucci fix these ongoing leaks?
Well, obviously he's not that successful out the gate, but I think he's got a correct approach. He's got to stop the leaks, because otherwise he can't govern, he can't have advisors advise, he can't consider. If they can't secure the White House, then they really can't move forward, because their own White House is creating the muck. But I don't want to distinguish. I do want to distinguish that from what's happening in Congress. I do think the Republican Party has no clear position. They've lost the edge on health care. Democrats have a clear edge now on something that's been unpopular for many years because of the fact they can't agree on which way to go forward.
Yeah, I don't know if you could say, though, the Democrats have a real edge here. I mean, look, the Democrats came out with a plan 2 days ago, you know, a better future, and it was all but ignored. I mean, they still are not coming up with a plan that will resonate for the American people going into the 2018 midterms. What did you think of the plan that Chuck Schumer wrote about in his op-ed this week, coming up with a plan to talk about jobs, but it sounds a lot like Donald Trump's campaign speeches, and I don't know that it's actually resonating with people, that they really are serious about turning to the economic issues that matter to the American people.
Well, at the end of the day, almost 90% want the Democrats and the Republicans to work together.
Right.
They do want a bipartisan solution here, and there doesn't seem to be any movement towards it. And I think, as the Republican leadership has said, if they can't get Republicans, they better get Democrats. And there's no legitimate move to do that. And frankly, if you're a Democrat, well, why would you, in fact, move in that direction? You'd let the Republicans have maximum political pain before you'd even start to negotiate
How
with them.
about just because that's their job and they just want to participate in governing? I mean, let's not lose sight of what the point is here. You're supposed to be working for the American people. I mean, to say why would Democrats do that? To do their job?
Well, look, 70% believe that Medicaid expansion shouldn't be cut. There's a lot of support for key elements of Obamacare here, and the Democrats are standing up for that.
Okay, hey, Mark, it's Mike Block. You know, I get it. You know, the Democrats are playing their game. They're saying, you know, the Republicans don't have the votes for repeal. Personally, that makes me happy. I'm fine with that. But the point is, why can't they be proactive? That graphic from your poll just shows 86% want the Democrats to work. Democrats, frankly, are standing there right now. They're pointing and laughing. They're icing them. How about someone steps up and gets proactive? McCain made the speech the other day saying, let's reach across the aisle. Who's going to take his hand? Who's going to do this?
Well, I think some Democrats would very much like to do that. I think keep your eyes open for Democrats.
Which one?
You know, but what I do think here. Which Democrat do
you think wants to do that, Mark? Seriously.
Look, I think there is in the House.
There's one, Manchin, maybe.
I think in the House there's a bipartisan problem solvers caucus. I think they look at it. But right now there's no atmosphere for cooperation because the Republicans are trying to solve the health care problem on their own, and they're discovering they can't. And when they come to the conclusion, and if they come to the conclusion they can't, which they're pretty close to, they're going to have to reach out for Democrats in a real serious way, and so is the administration. And that is what the American people want.
Let me ask you about the House Judiciary Committee, Mark, because they're looking into the relationship between former FBI Director James Comey and the 2016 Hillary Clinton campaign. Republicans on the committee voted yesterday to obtain conversations between Comey and officials within the Obama administration. This, of course, comes amid reports that the 2016 Democratic nominee is focusing her upcoming memoir on how the Russia election meddling and Comey's statements on her email scandal played into her defeat to now President Trump. Your thoughts about the book that Hillary is writing and about this new information from the Judiciary Committee?
I don't know much about the book, but I can say the American public now is of two minds on these investigations. Almost two-thirds say these investigations are hurting the country, all of them. Second, when I asked them, should they investigate something like Clinton's Uranium One deal, almost two-thirds also say yes, just as 75% said yes to an independent counsel. So the public says, yes, investigate leaks, yes, investigate Clinton's Uranium One deal, yes, investigate Trump. And then they turn around and say, you know what, we've got too many investigations. I really want taxes and infrastructure and all those good things that'll keep our economy growing.
It's funny. That is funny because you're hearing both sides of that in the polls. Look, these polls are really important that you're doing. These surveys are indicating where the American people stand on all of this stuff. So thanks for that, Mark.
Thank you.